Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, we're getting to check out another LionSteel on the channel. This is the SR-22. Now, SR-22 has been out for quite some time. Not a new knife by any stretch of the imagination, but it is the first time I'm getting to check one out. So I'm really glad to get the opportunity, because to be perfectly honest with you, I learned quite a bit from this knife. Now, this comes to me from my good friend Justin over at Tier 1 Gear and EDC Reviews. Thank you so much, buddy, for giving me the opportunity to check that out. He sent me a couple knives. Got a ProTech here as well. We'll be checking that one out here in a bit. But right now, we're going to be talking about the SR-22 from LionSteel. Now, like I said, I learned a lot from getting this knife, and that's the awesome part of it. It's not a new knife by any means, but first chance I've had to get my hands on one, and I'm really glad I did. But as you can see there, LionSteel, made in Italy. Now, the handle is an integral piece of aluminum, which is pretty cool. The millwork that has gone into it, but it's one solid piece of aluminum. You can see there, you got the nice milling, texturing on the handle there. Very cool. Millwork there in what would pretend, what would be the back spacer on a regular knife, but it's just one chunk of aluminum. That is cool. I'm digging it. Now, you've got an ambidextrous pocket clip. Do have a glass breaker there. Smashing glass, if we will. Now, this is also this is one of the reasons why I was so glad to be able to get my hands on this knife, and I'll show you that it kind of looks like an over travel stop, but this is what is known as the rotoblock. And the rotoblock basically kind of locks it into place when it's open, and I'll show you when we get there. But there you see you've got your insert there. Man, it is really well done, really well milled. Moletta, that is the designer. That's kind of his nickname. His name is Michele Pensato, but he's known as Moletta in Italy, so very cool. I am super into dig it. Flipper, yes indeedy. Nice coated blade there. Now, this is another one of the reasons why I was so glad. This blade is made of Sleipner blade steel. Now, I really didn't know much about this steel at all. Getting to look into it and figuring out that apparently it's kind of referred to as a new generation type D2, a tool steel. It is a tool steel. It is not a stainless steel. It has less than 13% chromium in it. So that's kind of, I guess, the determination of what makes a steel stainless is 13% chromium. This one's just about under 8%. So I know I don't dig into that too much, guys, but just kind of wanted to share with you what I learned in case, you might not know either. Really nice drop point blade, nice swedge across the top. Choil, yes indeedy, done very well. Really, I love, and come on, you guys, red and black, that's my thing. And yeah, super digging the look of this knife. Now, you do kind of have just a tiny ramp. It's small, it's tiny, but you know what? It works. It works really well. Let's do our quick spec check, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So we're going to include the glass breaker in our measurement, okay? Because we want to make sure it is basically part of the knife. So overall, you're looking at right about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just about 7 1/4. If you take the glass breaker, don't include the glass breaker, you're basically looking at a 7-inch knife, and you're getting just shy of 4 inches on the handle, and just a hair over 3 inches on your blade, and then your cutting edge is underneath that 3-inch. So there you go. Grip length. Now you do kind of see how your flipper tab comes down there. Grip length, you're looking about 3 1/4. So there you go. That's how it looks in my 3 3/4-ish inch hand. Now, as you can see, that flipper tab does come way over your index finger. I don't find that to be uncomfortable at all. It just gives you a little bit of extra block, you know, safety, if you will. Definitely do not, I definitely would not use the knife in this fashion. There's just too much risk of getting on the corner of that blade, just not enough room there. So definitely not a sharpening choil. I mean, you could probably stay down here if you really wanted to and really kept a hold of it, but you're definitely risk getting up on that blade for sure. Let's check out our weight real quick. What do we got here? We have 3.5 ounces, so not too bad. Right in my wheelhouse as far as a carry. Love that 3.5 to 4.5, 3 to 4, 3.5 to 4 is But then again, you guys know I love my bug out, so there you go. Make up your mind as you will. 100 grams on the nose. Very good. Now, as far as carry, that pocket clip, yeah, it's pretty deep carry. I like it. In and out of pocket, really good, really smooth. Retention on the clip is light-ish. It's not bad. Never felt like it was an issue, you know, coming in my pocket. It's tighter than others and not tight as others. So, yeah. But anyway, let's go back to this rotoblock, guys. This is kind of interesting. So, you have the block, the rotoblock. Now, it's open, right? Now, you see where kind of how it's sitting. You give this it's not even quite a quarter of a turn, and you can't unlock it. I mean, it's solid. I mean, I never really felt like I was going to inadvertently unlock a frame lock knife, and it did kind of get me a couple of times where I was like, man, this has got lock stick, but what had happened is I'd bumped that a little bit. So that is something that you do have to kind of pay attention to if you have dumb fingers like I do and they kind of get in the way sometimes. Definitely know that you could bump that and make you think you have lock stick, but turn it back, yeah, no issue at all. It's pretty interesting. It is riding on bearings. Obviously, that flipper tab, when you do drop it, that is it definitely protects you. And then, yep, shake it shut. Not bad at all. Overall, what do I like and what do I don't like about it? Well, you know, I like the aspect of getting a hold of this knife because I learned quite a bit from having this knife. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think that is probably the most value, you know, in getting these knives and looking at it, is learning stuff. Trust me, that's part of the reason why I do this, guys, is to learn. You know, before this, I really had no idea about Sleipner steel or the rotoblock, to be perfectly honest with you. And yeah, I've learned quite a bit and greatly appreciate the opportunity. The knife overall, now you guys know I'm not crazy about, you know, full metal handles, titanium, stainless, aluminum, whatever. I do like the fact that aluminum takes color. The color red, the color blue, well, really any color, honestly. It just takes it so well, and it looks so good. Might not be the best for cold weather, but man, that color just pops. I mean, you guys have seen my Thrill, you know, and I love that. I love the color in it. Again, aluminum, you know. But man, super. As far as ergos go, you know, I can feel that pocket clip a little bit. Not bad. If I were going to use it in this grip for any length of time, I would probably, the flipper tab might start to annoy me, and the pocket clip might start to annoy me. But just everyday EDC, general cutting tasks that most people are going to do, yeah, it's not an issue. Not really an issue at all to me. The rotoblock is cool. Honestly, probably not something I would use on a regular basis, just to be perfectly honest with you, because I've never really felt like I was going to inadvertently unlock a frame lock knife. You know, as a matter of fact, Oh, somebody had just talked about that. A frame lock knife and the way they hold it, it does, was it a frame lock or was it a liner lock? Doggone it, I can't remember. But they actually talked about inadvertently unlocking a knife just by in their grip. So I have personally never had that issue. You know, I guess I could see you just based on your hand size or whatever. I guess it probably could happen, you know. Obviously, if they're talking about it, it has happened. But that's nothing I've really ever came across myself. Good access to that frame lock. Yep. Not really an issue there. It's a little, I mean, that frame's a little stout, but it's not too bad. Yeah, overall, I'm digging the knife. And I'm digging the knife just because I like it overall, but man, this knife taught me quite a bit. And I'm really, 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 really happy about that. So, huge shout out to Justin, Tier 1 Gear and EDC Reviews, for giving me the opportunity to check out the LionSteel SR-22. It's been around for a while, guys. It's not a new knife by any means. But you know what? Just getting the opportunity to check it out, and I'm really, really glad I did. Guys, I'm also really glad that you checked it out with me today. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Tell me what you think about the rotoblock system. I'd like to know what you think about that. Comments are always there for discussion, guys. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.